Gabi, I was watching your video just a second ago, or your live just a second ago, and you were about to get into work. And I don't know what kind of job you do. I don't need to know what kind of job you do. But if you're not like a cook or somebody who isn't dealing with the public, maybe, don't go to work looking like you just rolled out of bed. You just started the job. And listen, some people don't give a shit if they're presentable or not. And, you know, to each his own. But I digress. I heard you talk about how somebody in Reddit was saying, you know, nobody contacts her job because they want you to pay taxes, right? And you were saying, oh my God, sit the fuck down, right? Ma'am, I could bet that person has been working their entire lives and has been paying into taxes that whole time. And I know that there's people in this community that live in your area that has been paying taxes for your food stamps, ma'am. So you sit the fuck down. I don't know if you're a good worker or not, but I have watched you pass up a $60 order because you didn't want to drive that far. So if I'm basing your work ethic off of your parenting and the spark job you did, it's not so good. Now, do I think that you're a pleasant person at work? Yeah. I think you're probably very easy to get along with, and you probably, you know what I'm saying? Like, but ma'am, you were a waitress at one time. How long did you waitress for? A couple months at best? Have you ever had a job longer than a year? Is my question. Because I wouldn't talk about anybody paying taxes. And just so you know, nobody is saying that a stay-at-home mom is not a job. Nobody is saying that it is not a hard job, because in my personal opinion, it is one of the most important jobs. And up until recently, I was a stay-at-home mom. I actually quit my full-time job with benefits to be a stay-at-home mom when I got out of rehab, because I am blessed to have a husband who makes more than enough money for both of us, right? But I like to work, and the job that I do is meaningful, and it gives me purpose, makes me feel good. Nobody had to force me to do that. And you missed the point, Gabi. The point is that we've watched you be a stay-at-home mom, and you weren't doing the jobs that we did as a stay-at-home mom, because if you did, you wouldn't be in this situation, right? You would clean the house. Okay, you were just in the same household as your son, and you poorly watched him. A stay-at-home mom is more than that. And when we see a child who is very behind and has behavioral problems, then you're not doing the stay-at-home mom job well. So you missed that point. Now, you said that it's been 2 years and you've been trying to get a job, right? And then all this stuff happens, and all of a sudden you have a job. You know, the job that you said the trolls were preventing you to get. So I would just kind of, you know, pipe it down a little bit when you're talking about people and working or being a stay-at-home mom, because, you know, let me add this one last thing in here, because I feel like this is something you would say, that, you know, sometimes kids have behavioral problems, or an autistic kid acts like your son, right? I'm not saying that that's not a thing, but one, that's not all autistic is. Secondly, your son is smart. That little boy wants to learn. He has so much potential. All he needs is a little work. And all of us as mothers can see that. So